Coach, really explosive today offensively and some really competitive at bats. It seemed like start to finish, with the exception of that second inning didn't get those runs in. But what did you think of the offense after yesterday, coming out today and putting up, 11 runs?
I thought they responded. I thought there were some big swings. Noah and Ace in the first. Joe Powell's really opened it up and gave us a chance to breathe a little bit. But then I thought we had the ability to kind of separate ourselves from them as that game went on. Chase Hungate obviously does a great job and gets the hold, but we just played some offense in those other innings and got separate yourself so you get away from damage.
Steve,
you tried Garrick Fry the last couple of days in left field. Reed Stallman seems to be responding, I guess, to the challenge of being on the bench. What did you see from him today at the plate and at last play of the ninth inning defensively?
Are you saying he's pissed at me, or no? That is pretty much it. He probably is. Most of them are. It was really matchup. We changed over to matchup and just got the matchup right. Had a couple big swings and then made a great play there. And really, I say matchup, but also it was a time of game with the lead to play defense. Garrick hadn't played out there as much. Reed's a better defender. So we're just going to mix and match them and try to find the right match.
Sam,
what's just the status of Mackay Grant right now?
Mackay is no longer with us. He's kind of left for some personal reasons, so and he won't probably be back the rest of the year. So,
Carla,
Ace Reese now, I believe, 11 home runs in the year, leading the team. How big has his addition been to this team this year?
Yeah, it's been huge, and he has a tendency to get big hits in big moments. He's when he hits, it helps us win games, and so not some guys get them when the score's big, and his are usually when the game's on the line. And I thought he had a couple big ones. The base hit in the first I thought was huge, just to get us going.
Doug.
Coach, with the 11-run win, I don't want to sound like I'm nitpicking or anything, but for the few grumblers in the fan base out there that are talking about getting thrown out at third base, can you take us through that play and what happened?
I got to stand behind my coaches and my players, right? But I'm all over Reed because he slowed down. He slowed down at second. Like that play's all on the player. Reed already knows. I've already told him the play's all out in front of you. You got with one out, you have to try to make that play at third base. And he just slowed down. I don't know what Cheese was waving him, and slowed down as he came through there. And that little slowdown probably cost him 5 or 6 feet. I think that's what it is. But that play, when that ball's in center and left center, that's the player's play. And we're really fighting to get to third base with one out at that point, trying to make that play. And give them credit. The guy picks it up, perfect, and he's out by this much, But if he doesn't slow down, it's an easy. You're standing up. Noah Solomon could have done it today. So, and Reed's a better athlete than Noah. Noah will probably be mad at me. Noah scored from first last night on a double, so we kind of had the same thing.
Danny.
Coach, for Evan Seary today, you gave him the start at LSU, and came right back to him this week. Just what are the conversations with you, Coach Parker, about Evan and his role and what?
Well, I think you're seeing it. Like last week against LSU, he got tired in the fourth. This week, they just got some ball. That ball. He throws that fastball away, and they just got a couple of pop-ups in there, and we wanted to go to the sink. That's all that was. But he actually was 92 in that last inning. I think he could have finished. I thought he was stronger this week than last. But hopefully we can keep extending him. He does a nice job. If you have a good pitching plan, a pitching coach, and a guy can execute the pitching plan, that's kind of what he's doing right now. 4 pitches for strikes.
Robbie.
Ball was really finding Gatlin today, and he made every single play. And
Thank God.
That's been kind of a revolving door there, in and out of the lineup, guys coming in. And do you think Gatlin's kind of trying to nail down that spot?
Yeah, he's nailed that down. We have to play defense. That's the biggest need of our team right now, and that's where Gatlin's jumped in there and jumped ahead of guys. And it's just very steady. He's just a very steady player, and does a lot of little things offensively. You probably don't notice them all the time, but he's just a really solid baseball player. But he's playing defense, and we have so many sinker ball throwers. So you got Ben Davis who throws a sinker, and you got Manel, and you got Hungate, so you got to be able to pick those ground balls up.
Steve.
2 games into this thing, you haven't used a lot of pitching. I mean, how do you feel about the bullpen and everything kind of going into tomorrow?
Well, I feel great about it. I think South Carolina's probably the same way. I think they threw a bunch of their young guys today once we took the bigger lead. So I think it'll be we need Carson to give us a good start, get us out the gate, and then I think we have a handful of guys there to help us nail it down.
Cole.
Coach, with Hungate shoving the way that he does, how does it make it easier or maybe harder, I don't know, for you and Coach Parker to coach today and tomorrow with the bullpen being stopped?
those were the debates in the game. And then, about the 8th inning, we start hearing there's lightning out there, so we were going to run another guy out and crank somebody up. And then it was like, let's just keep Chase up, just in case we do get lightning, then we'll crank the guy up. It's amazing all the different things that go into play in the middle of the game. But Chase was good from start to finish. I mean, he really, really competed in the zone.
Carlo.
Second SEC win, big one today. For the series victory tomorrow, you have a chance. How big was this win, not only for, in the win column, but also giving your guys confidence?
Yeah, we had to get the monkey off our back. Like, it just been weighing them down. It's been a tough 2 weeks of playing, and last night you could just tell we're trying to, I know people get mad when I say it, but try too hard. Like, relax and play the game. Enjoy the game for the reason you play the game. And I thought they did that today. I thought they came out and were able to play. And Evan and Chase let you do that too. I mean, those two kids come out and pitch great.
Got time for a couple more. Sam and then Steve.
On the defense, I believe it was the second pitch of the game when Ace commits that throwing error, and then maybe you're thinking, oh, here we go again with some defensive issues, but didn't let it snowball today with him and really with the whole team for the most part.
Yeah, when you go out there and you lose 2 video reviews in the first, it's not good, is it? But we've talked. The message has been about responding, and Joe Powell makes a great play to end that inning. I don't know if you remember that. He makes a great play, and I thought Joe Powell played great today. I mean, really good behind the plate, threw well, and then just had some big at-bats. I mean, he had one later in the game that he hammered right at somebody. I was just really pleased with the way he played back there.
Steve.
Dylan hits his first college home run, I think, today, and then but this weekend's kind of been tough for him defensively. What are you seeing from him?
Pressing a little bit, he's such a good thrower too. Like he's a high level thrower. He's kind of had his feet in the wrong spot, and now he's starting to think about it a little bit. I thought he made a great play up the middle. He made a couple other plays today, but yeah, on the one today, he just gets caught in between. And the play last night, as we go back and watch video, if you just plant, he's so good throwing across the green and throwing across the field. I wish he'd have taken that ball to first base last night, knowing the runner. But he's made a lot of great plays. Had a huge hit. I'm glad he got that hit for him because he had a couple tough at bats this weekend too. But he's our guy out there.